I get asked this all the time. Stefano, what's dello, nello, alla? Well, they're called complex prepositions or preposizioni articolate, and this is exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. Ciao a tutti, io sono Stefano and I am an Italian teacher. First of all, welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time on my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss any future video. In today's video, we're going to talk about a topic that you guys ask me all the time. So how preposizioni articolate or complex prepositions work. First of all though, what are prepositions? Well, prepositions are those little words that are used in Italian but also in English and other languages to add an information to a word. When I say add an information, they pretty much help a specific word to convey different ideas. For example, if I say to Rome, it means that I'm going to Rome. But if I say in Rome, it means that I'm staying in Rome, for example. So this is what prepositions are. But in Italian, we have two types of prepositions: simple prepositions and complex prepositions. Now, simple prepositions is just the word itself, basically. And they are di, a, da, in, con, su, per, tra, or fra. I've made several videos on prepositions that you can go watch on my channel. I've talked about a, di, da, in versus tra, da versus per. Well, I've made a lot of videos on prepositions because I love prepositions. And in those videos, I always talked about the use of prepositions. So how to use them in a sentence. But in today's video, we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to talk about complex prepositions and how to form them. So now let's put aside simple prepositions for a second. Complex prepositions are basically the combination of a simple preposition with a definite article. So when in English you say something like in the, to the, at the, well, you have two separate words. In Italian, we actually combine those two words together to form one single word. But not all prepositions do that. Not all simple prepositions can actually combine with a definite article. The prepositions that can do that are di, a, da, in, and su. So first of all, let's review real quick definite articles, and then we'll see how the combination works. I've also made a video on definite articles that you can go check out on my channel. I'll leave it in the description box below. But anyway, just let's review definite articles real quick. So we've got il, lo, and l apostrophe for masculine singular words. Then we've got gli and I for masculine plural words. La and L apostrophe for feminine singular words. And finally, le for feminine plural words. So we can take these articles and we can combine them with the prepositions we were talking about. How do we do that? Well, let's look at this chart. Let's start with the preposition di. It's very easy. So instead of adding the article itself, you're actually adding some endings that apply to all prepositions. The endings you are adding are L for il, LLO for lo, LL apostrophe for L apostrophe, LLA for la, I for I, gli for gli, and LLI for le. So what you do now is to attach these endings to the prepositions. But you don't add it to just the preposition itself. You actually change a little the preposition. For example, if you start with di is gonna become de. And then you attach the endings. So you're gonna have del, dello, del, della, dei, degli, delle. With the preposition a is exactly the same thing, and you don't have to change the preposition at all. So you've got al, allo, al, alla, ai, agli, alle. Da is the same thing. You know how a works? Well, just add a d in front of it. So instead of saying al, you're gonna say dal. And again, dal, dallo, dal, dalla, dai, dagli, dalle. What about in? Now, in is the trickiest one because it completely changes. So instead of adding an article to in, you add it to ne. So basically, in changes to ne. And you're gonna have nel, nello, nel, nella, nei, negli, nelle. And finally, we've got su. And su is very easy because you just attach the endings to su itself. So, sul, sullo, sul, sulla, sui, sugli, sulle. As you can see, it's not that hard. Once you learn the endings and you learn how to change some of these prepositions, it's very easy. It might sound like a lot at first and you might be like, oh no, I'm never gonna remember this. But actually, I almost didn't say that at first, but then it becomes the most natural thing ever. Trust me. Alright, let's look at some examples just to practice what we just saw. For example, I go to university. Now in Italian we say to the university. So we would have in Italian vado all'università. Vado all'università. A plus l'apostrophe. I go to the doctor. Now in Italian, when we're going to somebody's house or somebody's workplace, we're going to use the preposition da. So, vado dal dottore. Vado dal dottore. Da plus il, dal dottore. I entered the shop. Now in Italian, we would say in the shop. So, entro nel negozio. Entro nel negozio. In plus il. Nel negozio. I'm on the terrace. So, sono sulla terrazza. Sulla terrazza. Su plus la. Sulla terrazza. These are my kids' toys. Questi sono i giochi dei miei figli. Questi sono i giochi dei miei figli. So in Italian, to express ownership of something, we use the preposition di. So since I'm saying my kids, I have a possessive adjective, miei, and miei is always preceded by a definite article, in this case I. So di plus I, dei miei figli. Just one quick little thing, and now remember that sometimes also the preposition con can be articulated. Now that is not mandatory. You can do it if you want, but you don't have to. And this happens only with two definite articles, il and I. So con plus il would be col, and con plus I would be coi. You can do that if you want. I do it sometimes when I'm speaking and sometimes I don't. So saying con il and con I also works. For example, il maestro è con i bambini, or il maestro è coi bambini, il maestro è coi bambini. Vado a cena con il figlio di Rebecca. Vado a cena col figlio di Rebecca. Col figlio di Rebecca. Now, before saying ciao ciao, just let me add one thing. This thing, you know, of adding these endings of articles to words, in this case preposition, is a very common pattern, I would say, in the Italian language. Because prepositions are not the only words, let's say, to add definite articles in this way. For example, think about quello. Now, quello means that, and quello is exactly the same thing. You're going to have all these different forms. So basically, you start from que, and then you add all the endings that I mentioned earlier. So quel, quello, quelle, quella, quei, quelli, quelle. And you choose the right form of quello based on the word you have. So the definite article you would use with the word. For example, quel ragazzo, quella ragazza, quei ragazzi, quelle ragazze. And the same exact thing also happens with bello, beautiful. So we've got belle, bello, belle, bella, bei, begli, and belle. So as you can see, this is kind of a pattern, so it happens all the time in Italian. So once you learn prepositions, complex prepositions, you will also know how to use that, quello, or bello, beautiful. Quello always precedes the word it refers to, so you will have to change it every time. Bello instead might be found both before or after the word. If it precedes the word, then you're gonna change it this way. But if it doesn't, so if you put it after, you're just gonna modify bello as a normal four endings adjective. So bello for masculine singular, bella for feminine singular, belli for masculine plural, and belle for feminine plural. Alright, well, I hope that this video helped. Since a lot of you guys requested it, I hope that it helped, and I hope that now you have a better understanding of how prepositions work. But now it's also time to understand how prepositions actually work. So you can go watch all my previous videos on prepositions. Some of you also asked me, when do I use a simple preposition and when do I use a complex preposition? Well, that is a very good question, but there is no definite answer to that. Choosing a simple preposition over a complex preposition actually depends on the definite article. So we should be talking about definite articles rules, not prepositions rules. So you would use a complex prepositions when the word you have requires a definite article. It's very hard for me to describe all rules requiring a definite article or not. Think about English. Sometimes you use the, sometimes you don't. Of course, there are general rules, and I've made a video on this topic as well. So you can go watch that one and then choose the correct preposition to use. Alright, we are done for today's video. I hope you liked it, and if you want to support my channel, don't forget to press the like button. That's gonna help me tremendously grow my channel, and you will support me a lot if you leave a like under this video. So thank you in advance for that. Grazie mille. And of course, if you don't want to miss any future video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also turn on the notification bell. This way you will be notified every single time a new video comes out. And also, if you don't want to miss any future update, and if you want to see what I do in Italy, what my life in Italy is like, and also my trips in Italian cities, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Teacher Stefano. I'm sure you'll love it. Alright, we are done for today's video and I'm going to see you in the next lesson. Ci vediamo nella prossima lezione. Ciao!